Whether a champion is born or made, well, I think it's difficult to give you a definitive answer. Either this or that. For me, I think someone like Ronnie O'Sullivan was born to be a champion, but someone like Stephen Hendry has worked his way to becoming one. And I think in my life, it has been a lot of lessons that I've learned from failures mainly that has made me change myself, change my game, and then finally go on to win some. Uh, I remember in the 2014 Asian Billiards Championship, I was almost down and out. And even prior to that, I wasn't playing really well. And in that particular match in 2014 in the Asian Billiards Championship, I just told myself that, even if I do lose, this is not going to be the end of the world for me. And I will still live, and I will still live for another day to play another tournament. So, just sometimes those thoughts can alter the way you play or alter the way you look at the game. And I went on to win that match, and I went on to win the Asian Billiards Championship. But that particular thought had never occurred to me before, and I used to take too much pressure on my game, on myself, which would eventually, make me not play as well as I could. So I think we learn. We are learning every single day from our failures, from our mistakes, and we become the champion that we do become eventually. So I think it's a heady mixture of both. You do need a lot of talent to be a champion, but I think it's a continuous process of learning that eventually makes you, a great player. Well, that match against David Cozier in the semi-final of the World Championship is a match that I'm never ever going to forget. At the mid-session interval, I was trailing by 550 odd points, and I remember I was at the table and I was walking back to my hotel room to get a cup of tea, and I called my father and I said that if I can convert this break to a 200 break, I will be at striking range for the match. But it's easier said than done, and especially with Cozier when he's 500 points up. We all know he's such a beast on the table. But somewhere deep down, I had the faith. But the biggest thing that happened in the match, which still surprises me, is how I reached a complete state of trance when I made the 300 break against David Cozier. I don't remember the referee calling out the scores. I don't remember myself moving around the table, the shots that I played. It's just such a surreal experience because I cannot recount a single memory of that 300 break. And now I've come to believe that I perhaps was in a complete state of trance, to not be even able to hear the referee calling out the scores, So I discovered something that, to perform at the highest level, you have to condition your mind to become completely impregnable to thoughts of losing or the deficit. All you have to do is concentrate on the task at hand, and somehow I managed to do that with Cozier. And of course at the end, I was still a few points behind, but I managed to cover the deficit and ultimately beat him. And that was the biggest victory of my life, especially in terms of the sheer the passion with which I was willing to go to any length to give my best in that match. And it's just going to be in my memory, etched in my memory forever. It's difficult to pick one player, as the toughest opponent, simply because of the depth in our game today. There are some really fantastic players out there at the top, and I won't deny there have been matches where I've literally been reduced to a spectator. But the likes of David Cozier, Peter Gilchrist, who are such heavy scorers, and if you have a bad day with them, you're just going to be reduced to a mere spectator. And I've faced that so many times in my life. I think there's so much depth in the game today. There are so many other players who are capable of making a 400 or 500 break on their given day. But as far as one of the greatest matches that I've involved in is concerned, it's got to be the match with David Cozier in the semi-final of the World Championship. And players like Cozier, Gilchrist, relentless scorers. Cozier is a beast on the table. So always look forward to playing them. Maintaining concentration for long periods of time, I think that is one of the key challenges in a sport like billiards and snooker. There are sports like badminton, football, cricket, where you can vent out your anguish or your excitement. But in a sport like billiards and snooker, you've got to absorb it all and just remain calm in the face of everything that's happening around you. I think the key is to remain calm, to remain unflappable, especially in a sport like billiards where you may be sitting out for almost half an hour while your opponent is on the table. I think all you've got to keep telling yourself is to, just rein your mind and be calm, be collected, and you're going to get your chances. And when you do get them, you've got to make them count. And the more we make our mind adapt to that kind of a thinking, I think the better we get at our game, and especially playing against the top players when you're going to be sitting out a lot and you have to make your chances count when you get them. It's always such a tough challenge, to step up gear and go from a 100 break player to a 200 break player. I've been through it, and all the top players have been through it. It's sheer thrill, to be able to make a 200 break, but to graduate from a 100 break player to a 200 break player, it requires an immense amount of hard work. And I think in the context of today's modern day billiards, you have to be well versed with top of the table, because the all-round game of course can take you places, but when you're playing tournaments, the tables and the conditions today, the cloths are crisp and fast, and you may have an odd shot where the ball might run too much, or you may just have a wide split of the balls. So all-round play will of course serve you and always stand you in good stead, but to graduate to a 200 break player, you have to have good command over the top of the table. And today there are a lot of videos available on YouTube which was not there earlier, where you can fairly understand what exactly top of the table play is and try and model your game around it. And I think that's one of the best ways, since it's not easy to always be watching a top player in action. I think YouTube comes a very, very close second, and the best you can have today. Well, most of the players, when they practice, they enjoy the game, they relish the game. But unfortunately, some of them, when they go to play tournaments, the enjoyment stops, and it's only anxiousness and the worry to get results as you desire. So I think the key to take your practice game to the tournament is to do exactly what you do in practice, which is enjoy. The world title was truly the most incredible experience of my life. Sometimes when I look back at these memories, and I just feel they're ingrained in me, in my conscious and subconscious mind forever. And I just feel so thankful and so humbled. But for me, the biggest takeaway has been to have emulated my father 28 years later after he won the world title in 1990. So it's been fantastic, and I've always said that as sports people, the biggest reward that we can get for our hard work is nothing but a pat on the back, is nothing but acknowledgements. And there have been quite a few since I've won the world title. The latest being the Times of India Sportsperson of the Year award for billiards and snooker. These are very humbling. These make you feel that you really want to go out there and work harder and harder, because there are so many people who feel proud of what you have achieved, friends, family. So yes, it's truly humbling, and I want to take this platform to thank each and every person who recognized my efforts, recognized the efforts of my parents who have sacrificed so much for me, and it's truly been humbling. And I'm just thankful for everything that God has given us. Plans for the future, I really had a mind to play the World Professional Snooker Q School this year, and I was really working hard with my father, trying to hone my skills in snooker. But unfortunately, at this juncture, the world has fallen prey to COVID-19 crisis. All the sports, everything is locked down, and everything has been thrown into disarray. So yeah, I really was looking forward to playing in the Q School, and hopefully, if I did qualify for the professional snooker circuit, I wanted to give it my 100%. Billiards obviously would have taken a back seat for some time, but the situation now is that at first humanity needs to battle this extremely dangerous and treacherous pathogen. We need to come out of this situation, and I'm sure that we are going to be out of it very soon. And once we are, I really look forward to playing in the Q School, and hopefully if I do qualify for the professional circuit, I would probably be based in England, and try and do as well as I can over there. But if Q school doesn't work, then I come back and play billiards and snooker as I always was. Snooker, of course, at the amateur level, at the IBSF and the ACBS level, and of course billiards, as well as it was going. So nothing fixed as of now. Just trying to enjoy every moment. It's a tough time for all of us, so we're all battling, and just want to take this opportunity to tell everyone that I think we are really blessed to be part of this wonderful fraternity, and let's stay safe, let's stay healthy, and I'm sure once we all come out of this, we'll be united, and things are going to fall back into place.